And another thing is, I would say just focus on ownership. Like if you come here, try to do something. Find your special talent. Like if you good, whatever you're good at, do it, and don't just work for someone. Just try to make your own stuff.
LAKEY is fire.
Hey, what's up? This is Papa KD from USA, California, and I live in Shenzhen. I'm doing business here. You are watching Blackpats. Peace. The reason why I came to China first was to see the market, just start some business. It was a family business mainly. We were trying to open a business, so I knew that I did some research. I checked Alibaba, and I knew there was some good deals I can get in China. So I decided to come. And then it was just my whole thing was just to stay for a month or two till I get my stuff shipped, and then 2 months became 4 months, 6 months, and then I found an opportunity to teach here, and it's been 3 years and a half now. My biggest shock was actually there was two. Like now, I was surprisingly happy to see how developed China actually is. I mean, you think about the transportations, the trains, like the subways. I was very impressed. Another shocker was for me the way they somehow isolated. Like when they see you as a black person, and they take pictures, they ask you some questions like, "Oh, why your skin like this?" It's because your home country is sunny, and some questions where you're like, you know what I mean? So that was a shocker for me. And another surprise thing was about black people, of course. Before I came here, I did some research about black life in China and things like that, and I knew there were some misconceptions about black people. Of course, we know the image that we have on the media, how they portrayed us as violence or drugs and stuff like that. So when I met a couple of brothers here, they told me how, for example, jobs, they're not the first one to get the call, and maybe they're the first one to get fired. So it was just kind of little negative stuff. But one of the things I told the brothers from day one is like, listen, yeah, that might be true, but don't let that stop you. So when I came here, I decided to do something, not necessarily work for somebody, but try to ownership was the main thing that I was trying to focus on. So one of the things I liked as a hobby was dancing, and I decided to start teaching and do like a dance studio and just organize some parties and stuff to get other brothers to come that feel like there's a home they can go to and just represent. What I like about China, I say China overall, I like it. My experience in China has been somewhat positive for the most part. As a matter of fact, it's been positive, not even somewhat. I'm very happy in different things that I was able to do in China. I think overall Chinese people are friendly. Every now and then you get some person, someone who just say some stupid stuff, but I think overall they being very friendly. I remember first time I came, my first week I got lost, and I was trying to find the metro station, and two Chinese people literally just they took me, walked me like 10 minutes to another station, and helped me buy a ticket, and helped me through the whole process. So that was a very good first impression. Another thing I like about China is opportunities. You can do so many things here, especially if you are business minded. You can do a lot of things. You can have stuff made here and send it to your home country. You can even do trading. You can have, people can call you and you can buy things for people and get commission for it. You can also get some jobs, especially if you're a native speaker. Like for example, if you're a native English speaker, you can get some teaching jobs. And you can still do some other things on the side. So there's a lot of opportunities, and you just have to look for it, and you have to have the right mindset to be able to do those things. One of the things that I disliked when I first got here was a lot of staring, people staring at you. And I don't mind for kids and stuff staring at me, but it's like sometimes you might get a grown man looking at you, like staring at you, taking pictures and stuff. So I kind of dislike that, and especially sometimes you're not in that mood. You're just like, man, get that camera out of my face. But I would say I've gotten used to it, so now I don't even notice that stuff. I don't know if they're doing it or if they stopped doing it. I don't know, but that's one of the things I disliked. And some of the culture thing, obviously there was some culture shock, and I try to be open-minded about it. Like for example, spitting, that's something that I was a little bit like, ugh. But I've gotten used to it. I try to make sure stay out the way. But it's one of those things, and what things they can improve more, I think, is the way they communicate. I think some Chinese people tend to be very direct, and they ask some personal questions sometimes, and without knowing it, and they're not doing it on purpose. I think it's just out of ignorance, for lack of a better word. I think they just don't know how this is going to affect or how this is going to come off. So things like that, if they can improve, I think overall, like I say, some of the things that I disliked, I've gotten used to them. So I don't really see them a big problem anymore. And I just try to be open-minded about it, like I said. The advice that I would give to the black people that want to come to China, I would say it's good to do your own research. It's good to know the culture and things like that. But it's another thing that I want to say, as a black people, we know that there's a lot of misconceptions about us. The image that's being put out about us may not, it has not been a positive one. So sometimes you might see people have some negative stereotypes and misconceptions about us. So what I would say is ignore those things. Now, I'm not saying it's good to know, but don't let that affect you. Like, for example, I remember when I first came, I met a brother, and we were we were partying and stuff, and I say, look, what's up? What's up with the girls and stuff? And he was like, yo, the girls here don't like black guys. And that was shocking to me, because you can say one person might not like black people or might not date, but for you to say that they don't like black people, I think that was kind of self-hate. It was just a lot of self-hate and low self-esteem on his part. And people like that, when they tell you and then you believe that, it's going to continue. And so what I told him was, listen, man, you cannot say that. Like, just because one person might not like this does not mean all of them. So ignore that. And I had a great time. I ended up talking to some girls, and they ended up showing me around, and they were very cool. And then he later ended up coming around and being my friend, and I was able to introduce him to the other people. So that's just one example, like how if you let those things hold you back, then you're not going to be able to enjoy. And another thing is, I would say, just focus on ownership. Like, if you come here, try to do something. Find your special talent. Like, if you good, whatever you're good at, do it, and don't just work for someone. Just try to make your own stuff. Like, for example, me, when I came here, I realized there was a need for somebody to teach a certain type of dance named kizomba. So there were other studios. They asked me to work for them. I said, no, I'm going to start my own thing. So I rented a studio and I started giving classes. And even though at the beginning there weren't a lot of people coming, but still I kept going. And I'm glad to say that now we have a lot of students. We're about to do a festival now. And so just ownership, just try to do something, especially when you're a black person. When you do that, it's not only helping you, but it's also helping other brothers that are coming after you. Because when they see you, they see like, okay, we can do this too. And so you gotta think the bigger picture. Like, how can you not only help yourself, but others that are coming? And not only that, but you're also changing the image. When people see you doing your thing, and when you're a black man and doing this thing, people are gonna look at you like we're not all doing drugs and all that crazy stuff. We got businesses. And I'm not saying try to prove yourself all the time, but I'm saying do something good for you, and the people are gonna see it. Action speaks louder than words. So when they see you doing your thing, that explains everything. So you don't have to even talk and prove anything.